All right, we're going to talk about the crew dog for a moment. The crew dog is a very common recruit. You'll generally start with a few of them. They tend to be replaced by many players later in their games as they get more engineers, or mostly engineers, I imagine. People that give them the skills they need that the crew dogs are quick fixes for in the meantime. But crew dogs have some valuable talents in and of themselves that can make them useful even in late game, just not quite as useful as they were at the beginning. Crew dogs primarily give ship ops, basically cleaning your ship. I pretend they're janitors, maybe they're not. There's been a request, a cult request to have a crew dog captain as a primary profession. I like to think of that as Roger Wilco from the old Space Quest games. Uh, I can imagine the janitor being effective if and only if it's Roger Wilco. Anyway, the crew dog will give ship ops, which is necessary to maintain your ship. If you fail ship ops saves, really bad things happen. If you fail bad ship ops saves, there's two categories of them, then devastating things will happen that can end your run. So keep your ship ops high and have lots of saving talents. They also give repair a somewhat needed talent for or skill for various things, and they give a tiny bit of gunnery, not usually a huge concern. The first thing that they can offer is at rank 1, safety protocols. It will give you a ship ops test save. Again, these are very important. I strongly advocate that you have 3 of these as early in the game as you can. It is quite dangerous, especially in higher difficulties and higher danger quadrants, to go without 3 or more of these. The saves are really bad to miss. This is the worst kind of save you can fail. They are worse than doctor's saves that get failed. Don't fail your ship ops tests. So this saving talent is almost reason enough to get these guys. Quartermasters can also get a ship ops save, but they're pretty rare. All right, then we have failsafe protocols. This is a way to purge in ship combat, purge your ship of any crippling ship effects. This is an early way to get rid of crippling ship effects. That's good. However, this is the only thing this talent is doing, and if that's the only action you're able to take that's meaningful in a turn in ship combat, you're in a bad spot. Usually you want to be doing some repairs while you're doing removal, or some defense boosting while you're doing removal, or retreating or something. So just doing failsafe protocols is not always a strong move, but it is a bit of a clutch. Got to get rid of that electrical fire. Put it out. Move. A methodical sweep. This is a weak but valuable because it's, again, really early on, and you can grab these guys in any starport that has people in them. You can grab one of these crew dogs, and right away you can choose methodical sweep to give you a patrolling talent. It'll let you reroll a single risk card. Occasionally, rerolling is better than the remove this card card game talents, because sometimes the rewards that you have available are really, really good in general, but your current hand sucks. And so by just flipping one card, for instance, suppose you have 5 cards and they're all red. This is a bit of a stretch, but imagine you have 5 red cards on a patrol. They're all not things you want. And in general, you have a good set of attributes for patrolling. Well, if you flip a card, you have a chance of getting something really good. If you just remove a card, you're going to get one of those four remaining reds for sure. So again, there's a rare case where I do like flipping a card more than completely just removing it. Anyway, pretty self-explanatory beyond that. Relaxing Leave is one of the best talents that the crew dog has. It is a rank 1 talent, 9 weeks cooldown. This and all other spice talents apply to your entire crew, meaning even if only 2 people in your crew of 30 need to use the spice hall, anyone in your entire crew of 30, anyone that has these spice talents, it can trigger. And so they don't have to be the 2 that are spicing or the 1 that's spicing or whatever. Anyway, this allows someone that's passing spice at the spice hall to grant all other revelers a morale bonus equal to 30% of your charisma. And the your in here is the crew dog. So at the beginning of the game, I usually select one crew dog that has the most charisma, especially if times 0.3 comes to an integer. Then I'll select that one for Relaxing Leave and give the other ones the safety protocols, 2 or 3 of them. Relaxing Leave just gives so much. It takes what? If you have 24 charisma, which you can sometimes get on crew dogs, I think that's +8 to your morale, if I did my math right. And 8 morale to your entire crew from that is massive. And so that's a quick way to make use of spice halls that might otherwise run out of spice in some emergencies before you're able to uh, fully get up to where you need to be with morale. Recovery plan is the same for patrolling, but with salvaging at an orbital. I don't usually salvage at an orbital early game. If I do, I want to get rid of a really devastating card, not just re-roll to a random thing that could be a double Xeno attack or something crazy. So I don't really choose this talent, but I could see it being useful if you already were invested in salvaging late game. Talk in the Hall is another spicing talent. It is useful to grab a rumor. Interestingly, this just fires on cooldown. Guess I never realized that before. This is a really fast way to get rumors. I have to take more advantage of that myself. So yeah, Talk in the Hall is a great way to boost your recruit, or I'm sorry, not your recruit, your rumor game really early on, which can be helpful for finding things like artifact, what are they called? Artifact excavation, artifact rushes. The things where all the smugglers have artifacts in their holds and are make tons of money. That thing. All right, Hawkish Siege. This is blockading, same style as the methodical sweep up above, or for blockading. Same things apply. Scrap Procedures increases your rewards based on its repair skill, which isn't going to be great. So 20 to 30% bonus on credits when salvaging an orbital. I don't generally get this, as I find the other talents to be more impactful. Engine Lockdown is an interesting one, a ship talent that actually prevents damage to your engine. Getting your engine taken below 40% functionality destroys your ship. You're basically dead in the water if that happens. So this prevents that entire defeat condition from happening. Of course, other things can kill you, but that's still an interesting option. If a foe had extremely high critical chance, there might be a corner case where this would be really strong protecting against that. It does have a pretty big drawback in that it cuts down 2 reactor points on the turns after it is used. And so with the 2 fewer reactor points, you're not going to be able to take as many actions. 1 fewer weapon generally, you're not going to be able to move as much. Might be worth it though, as you also do get a shielding bonus. And the radiation damage is interesting. That's a flat plus 25 damage to every weapon that you fire that turn. So theoretically, if you had, I don't know, 6 autocannons, you could use Engine Lockdown and get a bonus 150 radiation damage each turn for 2 turns. I don't know. That might be worth it. Then again, if you're hitting someone with 6 autocannons at once in a turn, they're probably in pretty bad shape anyway. I'm not sure you need this. All right, Battle Damage Repair is a pretty cheap way to, in that it's just a level 8 or rank 8 crew dog talent. You can repair a single component on your ship after battle, assuming you win. And it's not super powerful, but it's great to use in place of the Engineer Repair talent when you've only taken modest damage. You want to save your good talents for later. Veteran Clarity. This is a ship combat talent. I don't use it a ton. However, it is kind of a complement to the failsafe protocol up above. This one deals with the crippling ship or crippling crew effects. It also gives you a small amount of mitigation against morale damage to your crew, not generally the biggest thing you worry about in ship combat. And it does give you 10% critical bonus, so better chance of doing critical hits. So kind of an all-around small perk, small perk, small perk for 2 turns. It could be useful. It's better than anything that just says removes crew of crippling effects alone. And so there are cases where I'd use this, but it's not the biggest situation. It's not the biggest game changer. So you might be able to see now why people generally choose other jobs to replace crew dogs and later in their games. They really don't get a whole lot of powerful stuff. Most of the good stuff they've got is at level 1 and maybe level 5. I'm saying level and rank interchangeably, but they're not really the same. I apologize. Ranks come more slowly than levels, except for the commander, or the captain. Sorry. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about with crew dogs. I'm going to move on to diplomat.